1967 was another blow for Palestinians.
The 6 Days War, we call it in Palestinian terms, we call it Naksa. It was a second chapter in the oppression of Palestinian people.
Palestine was divided, first Israel, and then the other part became Jordan, and war 1967, Israel occupied the West Bank of Jordan and Gaza.
By the way, we don't call it Six-Day War. We call it 1967 war because Six-Day War is weaponizing the Bible for political ends. It is as if God created the world in 6 days and then he rested. However, Israel in 6 days actually did not make us until now to rest, nor did they rest.
The Israelis themselves were clear that they want all of the land. This is the Zionist project. And so they found an opportunity in 1967. They realized, Arab countries are at that time were at a weaker point. We could defeat them easily and as a result, take full control of the land.
Israel was able to occupy the rest of Palestine, to occupy the Golan Heights and the Sinai Peninsula.
More people had to leave the country. New waves of refugees tried to find ways of life somewhere else. I remember my mother telling me of people trying to swim the Jordan River just to flee from one side to the other, and stories of people who drowned just by trying to swim that river.
My mother always told us the story how they considered leaving. Bethlehem, Beit Sahur was being shelled. They were afraid. They thought of what happened in 1948 and they thought, let's go to Jordan. And she always credits her uncle who stood in front of the house and threatened anyone who would leave and said, no one's leaving this house. We will stay here even if we have to die. And we stayed here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to return, as you know.
And Naksa was something extraordinary for us because my family was split. So I have half of my family in Jordan and half of my family is in the West Bank.
I was 5 years old. We were living in the boarding section in Bethlehem. And I remember the bombs that came to the church there and to the boarding section.
هاي الصورة بتبين أثر القنبلتين اللي صابوا الكنيسة والمدرسة في بيت لحم. كانت الإصابات فقط على أحجار. 90 طفل وموظف ما تضرروش وما انصابش ولا حدا فيهم بجروح. كانت الفترة ما بعد 67 فترة حرجة زي فترة الأربعينات، قادت لكثير من الناس للهجرة من البلد. في منهم هجروا إجباراً، يعني طلاب من اللوثريين اللي كانوا يدرسوا خارج البلاد، الحدود سكرت، منعوا من العودة. هذا صورة لخريجين المدرسة سنة 1965. المميز بالصورة هاي إنه كلياتهم طلعوا يدرسوا، ولا واحد فيهم ما قدر يحصل على الإذن إنه يروح على البلد. طوائف مثل طائفة بيت جالة كان التأثر تبعها كبير جدا، وهذا قاد بالسبعينات إنه تتأسس طائفة عمان. أكثر من نص أعضاء الطائفة كانوا من الإنجيليين اللوثريين من بيت جالة، البعض من بيت لحم، البعض من رام الله. وبالتالي تأسست كنيستنا السادسة في عمان، كنيسة الراعي الصالح.
ما بعد الحرب كان في حكم عسكري. الحكم العسكري امتد كمان لكل الخدمات المقدمة، سواء كانت الطبية الصحية أو الخدماتية، الهويات، السفر، التعليم. كل هذا الحكي كان مقنون ويدار من قبل ضباط عسكريين، يعني لدرجة إنه انتخاب إدارة مجلس إدارة لنادي ما بحاجة لموافقة الضابط العسكري.
We were not allowed also to speak about Palestine or to show the Palestinian flag. We were allowed to live, but we were not allowed to speak. We were not allowed to protest. We were not allowed to say that we are not satisfied, you know. Many children, many youth were arrested, you know.
Following the occupation of the West Bank, Israeli authorities sought alternative ways to acquire even more lands by declaring Palestinian lands and private properties in the occupied West Bank as state land, which transferred the burden of proof from Israeli authorities to Palestinian landowners. And between 1968 and 1979, almost 47,000 dunams of privately owned Palestinian lands in the occupied West Bank were expropriated by Israeli authorities under the pretext of state land declaration. This process engineered a geographical, demographic, and political space where Jewish Israeli settlers enjoy their full rights while Palestinians are suffering the consequences and are subject to these military laws.
Jewish settlers started building colonies inside the West Bank, saying this is the biblical land and we want to occupy it for good. And these colonies actually became a major problem for any peace negotiation.
The role of churches after the occupation, I would say, did not change much in terms of continuing to serve the community, continuing to provide humanitarian needs, and continuing to be a voice for peace throughout. It became more difficult in the context of military occupation and oppression, because now you have to answer more directly to the theological questions about not just the promised land, the chosen people, the things we were forced to deal with after the Nakba. Now we are dealing with new questions about nonviolence, about resistance. The question now becomes, how do we participate, not whether we participate or not.
In Christian circles abroad, the image that spread was the small David, which means the state of Israel defeating Goliath, which is the Arab states. So Israel won the war, the US lost the war in Vietnam. And Christian Zionists in the United States thought Israel won because God is on their side, while the US lost because America is not anymore a Christian nation. And so this was the time for what we call Christian Zionism to flourish.
And now the church has to reason with people, their faith, saying, you are not evil people, you're still loved by God. So not only we lost lands and lives again, but now we are looked at as evil people. So the spiritual work of faith with the actual life of people had to come together to form a life and a faith that has to stand in the face of oppression.
The Palestinians didn't feel one day that they are free.
Intifada, it's a natural reaction to oppression.
People were not happy with what's going on. Uprising.